Okay, well, we're going to start mixing up some shellac, and as promised, we're going to do two different recipes. First recipe will be mixing shellac from dry flakes, and the second recipe we'll take a pre-mixed batch of shellac and make a lighter cut or more dilute shellac. Before we start, I just wanted to go over the tools and supplies that you see on the workbench. For making shellac from flakes, a scale is an important item to have. You can use any scale that's capable of weighing in the ounce range. This can be a postal scale. This is a scale that I use for my son's Pinewood Derby and Cub Scouts. I've seen scales just like this in garage sales. This is something I bought at a garage sale, and this is a small coffee grinder. Coffee grinder or a spice mill is perfect for pulverizing dry shellac, making a fine powder which dissolves much quicker in the solvent. It's also good to have several small plastic bottles that will be about the right size for you to store a batch of shellac. Don't forget that after you mix your shellac, write down on a label what type of shellac it is and the date it was mixed, remembering that it has about a 6-month shelf life. Another important little item is something to weigh your shellac in when you're using your scale. This is basically a small to-go container that I cleaned and kept it for mixing shellac, and you put it on your scale, zero out the scale, and then you can weigh your shellac in there and pour it into your container. Anybody that's taken high school or college chemistry will certainly remember weighing papers, and basically I'm using a 6-inch square piece of paper. You put that on your scale. You can also use that to weigh out your dry shellac. It's good to have it folded in half, and then you can use that as a funnel or a slide to pour the shellac into your bottle. So either a small to-go container, or this is just printer paper, 6-inch square weighing papers. It's always good to have shop towels. This is no exception. When making shellac, you'll have some little spills to pick up. We're using denatured alcohol as our solvent. I like having gloves when I'm doing shellac. It's totally non-toxic, but that just keeps it off my hands and makes it easier to clean up. It's also good just to have a couple of mixing containers just to keep clean solvent in, and also this is where I put my syringes. Now you might say, why have a container for syringes? Well, I use these two large volume syringes, which you can get at a veterinary supply or a feed store, for drawing up a given volume of shellac. And when I'm using this recipe in category 2, where it says 2 parts of alcohol to 1 part of shellac, I use, say, perhaps 60. I pull that up once for the shellac, and then I'll pull up 2 of the same in alcohol, and that way I don't have to measure in containers and pour, and then I've got a bunch of things to clean up, and I also don't get shellac on the edge of the can. I don't have to clean it up, just open and close. These are very easy to clean. I've been using them for a long time. You just, when you're all done, just take some clean alcohol, run them back and forth like that in the container, and then take them apart. Take a small screwdriver, just pop the rubber seal off the end. I wipe these down with alcohol and a paper towel and just lay them on the bench to dry. Put it back together, and I'm ready to go for the next time I want to make some shellac. So this is a good little tip, and you can buy a handful of these for a couple of dollars at a feed store or a veterinary supply. I've got a bag of shellac that I've already cut the top off of, and we're going to take our scale. I'll turn it on, and then I'm going to take my little weighing cup. This way I don't have to put shellac on the scale itself. I'll put that on the scale and just zero it out and just start weighing out the shellac until I get to 2 ounces. There's 1 ounce. See how close they are to their packaging. And it doesn't have to be that exact. It's just kind of nice to know what you've got when you mix it up. All right. Well, as advertised, we're at 2 ounces exactly. Add shellac and put it in this coffee grinder. It's always good to have electricity on your bench. And we'll just quickly pulverize this shellac. Okay, so I've got everything cleaned up and we're ready to mix the alcohol and shellac. In this container I have some alcohol. This is the container we're going to mix the shellac in. This is our pulverized shellac, exactly 2 ounces. We're going to make a 1 pound cut, and using this recipe that means 2 ounces of dry shellac flakes mixed in 16 ounces of denatured alcohol. Using this syringe, on the left hand side is marked in ounces, and basically 2 ounces up to the top, and you'll just see this just makes it easy. You just less spilling and that kind of thing. So there's 2, 4, 14,